the crack. Tom and Jack having a crack.
Here from yesterday. Whoa.
Perfect.
I can stay there, I guess.
Well, welcome. That's a great introduction. Welcome to Tom and Jack having the crack. Every week we sit down with some comics, have some crack or some cock. Depending on what sort of mood or teacups strike us. This week we're joined by Niamh, Maroney, and Arangi.
Hi guys.
How you doing, guys?
Pretty good. I think we should address that we're all in the same city.
Well, I'm not. So
Most of us.
Yeah, I'm not.
Are we all in the same city? So you lads are in Brussels as well?
We're in Antwerp.
Okay. I'm in Brussels.
For the people at home, Antwerp and Brussels are the same city.
Don't tell Antwerp people that. They will freak out.
Yeah.
They're very territorial.
You can see why they want to protect it. It's a beautiful place.
Where's your gig? In Brussels or Antwerp?
Tonight in Antwerp and tomorrow in Brussels.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Very good.
And Niamh's on the show in Antwerp tonight. So I thought perfect St. Patrick's Day show, just a British guy and an Indian guy.
And an Irish person.
Yeah, and an Irish
Sober.
person.
I'm going to be sober for the show, unfortunately. Yeah. But I was also playing Antwerp last night. I supported Daniel Ryan Spalding in Antwerp last night. So Antwerp 2 nights in a row is weird. Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, but it was really nice. So I'm looking forward to tonight as well. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, I think we're pretty much sold out, so it should be really fun. So Niamh, I'm fascinated by why. Tell us how Girl from Ireland ended up in Brussels.
Okay, well, like, can I shit on Ireland on St. Patrick's Day? Is that like an okay thing to do? You know?
You should do it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's go. The bars close in Ireland at 1 a.m. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and just like general like living is like insanely expensive in Ireland. Plus, I work in the arts, so I'm a theatre producer, and there's no work, you know. So it's like can't make money, couldn't afford rent, and then trying to have a good time is like curbed at 1 a.m. And yeah, it's a shit show. Like going out at the weekends, I find it an absolute nightmare over there. So I was like, right, okay. I had my first kind of like dancing until 6 a.m. experience in Poland years ago, and I was like, okay, I've got to move to the continent. And then I started visiting, and yeah, finding myself at like all these fun art parties, and was like, yeah, okay, I gotta live here. But like, I'm still a country girl, so it's still a million people, which is like an okay kind of size city to live in, because I went from like super rural Ireland to Brussels, so it was a mad culture shock. It's like apartment living. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then also like just it's so dirty here. It's just like so dirty. The city is just so dirty. I was like, okay, right, I'm going to move back to Ireland. And then I was like, oh no, it's like kind of shite crack there. So yeah, I hope I haven't offended anybody there, but
I think it's the perfect message on St. Patrick's Day. Also, you managed to avoid all Irish stereotypes by saying I moved somewhere because I couldn't get a drink late enough.
Right.
Yeah. So you managed to skirt.
I'm such a stereotype, guys. It's yeah.
Which part of the country in Ireland are you from?
Kilkenny.
Oh, right, okay, right.
Yeah.
Because Jack's from Longford.
Longford.
You're from Longford. And
Yeah,
do you live
did it not
London?
have none of pub lock-ins in Kilkenny?
Yeah, they have lock-ins, but you're like no DJs till 7 in the morning,
Because I could see Jack's face when you're telling those stories. He was like, "Oh, I think you're hanging out with the wrong people."
Well, I don't know a lot about Belgium, but I never heard of anyone going to Belgium for the crack,
Well, have you been to Belgium, Jack?
No, I drove through it once on the way to Amsterdam. In Belgium.
Of course you did.
Which,
I stopped off in a petrol station to get some of the chocolate waffles, which were actually quite nice now, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, only tourists eat the waffles.
I thought they were nice. And Antwerp, the only thing I know about Antwerp is in the movie Snatch. It's where the diamonds come from.
Right.
Hmm.
And did you know the diamond business in Antwerp is monopolized by Indian people? I
The
learned that
admin business.
Wow.
apparently there's like 2 Indian families that took over the business.
oh yeah, because there's quite a lot, isn't like quite a lot of diamond mines in India? Is that right?
No, not really. Yeah.
No, okay. You guys are just like you stole all of our jewels. We're gonna take all of your jewels back now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know why.
Are those families coming to the show tonight?
I hope so.
That'd be.
Yeah, they're in the.
Could be. Could
No,
be.
You'll be able to
Not
see
so
them.
many Indians.
They're in the VIP section. They're in the Diamond Platinum Club.
Nice. Maybe we need to pass the hat as well. You never know what they might drop in there.
Yeah,
It's
it's only 2 carats. There you go. Flip that in.
Split it between you.
Yeah. But
And
go on, sorry,
how is Belgium? The hotel looks nice anyway. Nice
Oh, it's
hotel
like
room there.
a traveler hotel that's for like working and stuff. It's like very compact.
but for some reason
It does the job.
they've gone with like a Cadbury's cream egg color scheme.
Yeah.
On the inside. For some reason.
It's very bright.
We had a lad on the way in. Speaking of having the crack in Belgium, we had a lad on the way in. I don't know what he'd been taking or what he'd been doing, but our taxi driver was driving in and he like banged our taxi and was like, "Where is the hotel's called the Prison Hotel? So, where is the Prison Hotel?" And the guy was like, "It's here. Like, you can see it."
You're
He's
right
like,
beside it.
he's like, "Oh my god, thank you so." You get really hungover or really like when you're coming down off something, and you're like, "I can't judge my surroundings. I want my bed. I want my bed more than anything." He had he had a lot of that energy. Like he was ready to like sell a kidney to get some shut eye.
Oh Jesus!
Can we just go back there? The prison hotel.
I realized that
It's
when I
a
was
prize hotel.
Price Hotel. I think yeah.
Which
I
is.
might have made a Freudian slip.
So it's not called a prison hotel.
No. It's the prize hotel.
They didn't pay to stay in a prison.
I thought when you said it, I thought it must be like an old prison that they've done it up like the way like old schools get turned into apartment blocks. I actually thought it sounded fancy.
Because this is the thing that they like to do in Belgium. There's a prison closing down in Saint-Gilles and they're like planning already on turning it into a hotel. It's like,
No.
Well, there you go. So,
oh, you're onto something there.
because you always read that about in Holland, they're always closing down prisons, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't that right? Isn't it? You always and in England they just can't build enough of them. Like,
Is that, are the Dutch going to prison in the UK? Is that what's happening? Like, or
no, I think it's just that there's less and less things that they'll convict you for, whereas in England there's more and more things that they'll convict you for.
oh right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I actually performed in one of those prisons in the Netherlands. Yeah, they shut it down like a few years ago, and then now they made it an event space.
Brilliant.
But you can still see the hallows.
You can still feel the ghosts of shower time.
Prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like?
It's like a large auditorium with like 15 seats or 20 seats. It feels odd, but you just feel like you're a little person in like this hollow space.
Yeah, that feels like
Of
prison.
course, made it very like millennial, like they add all these decorations and made it cool and stuff. But you can feel it that there was a prison here, and there were some.
You could feel the prison vibe. Have you ever seen the thing with it's Norway that has the prisons that are completely counterintuitive to everyone else's prisons?
Yeah.
But they've the lowest reoffending rate, so like they kind of teach them how to cook and how to be domesticated and everything. And I've always kind of thought it's like that puts them off committing crime because they're like, I'm not going back there. They made me cook. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to, if we were allowed to fight, I'd go to the gym all day. Yeah, I'd commit more crimes, but I'm not coming back cooking. Fuck that.
They teach you chess. Like, why should I learn chess?
They were making me iron. I had to fucking iron shirts.
I'm not getting I couldn't master a sous vide. I'm not going back to that hellhole. So Niamh and Jack, have you got any St. Patrick's Day plans? You didn't do anything?
Not really. I never do that, Niamh, do you?
I mean, is drinking a plan?
Well, kind of, yeah. But do you do anything like, it's the weekend, I'll be drinking anyway. Like, I never do anything different, I never.
Right. Different. Probably not, but just with more Irish people around me. Yeah. But there's a parade tomorrow. Maybe the two lads can go. I'll send you the map. My friends went last year and it was just a fella with an uilleann pipes. So
no tractors, like do you have tractors in Kilkenny in the parade?
Yeah, trucks with flower pots on the back
of them.
Trucks and tractors and flower pots. Yeah, so they got a bag of cans and they followed your man around. So I don't know, that sounds like a nice plan for tomorrow. And I bought this green t-shirt.
Simplicity.
I don't know. But yeah, so I'll be wearing green and following a bagpiper around probably, maybe. So yeah, I think that's the plan.
That sounds like that's more authentically Irish than most people do on St. Patrick's Day, I think.
Is it?
You got a piper involved.
The piper, yeah. I think Paddy's Day, like the parades in Ireland are kind of for children, and when you're a child you go to them and it's kind of exciting, and then when you become a teenager, Paddy's Day becomes a drinking day. And I think I remember when I was growing up, like a lot of people where I grew up, the first time they'll get drunk could be Paddy's Day because the adults are all very distracted. So it's a good day to and it's a day where you can go off with your friend, leave the house at 9 a.m. and you're coming back at 7 p.m. and no one bats an eye. Do you know what I mean? No one's like, where are you? You're at the parade. So there's loads of cover if you want to go off and try and get drunk.
That's all you were ever looking for as a teenager, wasn't it? You want a plausible excuse.
Yeah.
And Paddy's Day has it all. Like you can leave the house early, you can come back late, you can be at an event that there's going to be lots of people at, so there's no one to keep kind of tabs. And just for mobile phones now too. There's so much drinking going on and it's so busy. It's easy to be unnoticed. You know what I mean? It's easy to.
I mean, when I was living in New York, the St. Patrick's Day parades there. It's great. When you were bartending there, Jack, did you ever see a St. Patrick's Day parade? Like we ever there for?
No, because I was only there during the summertime.
Right.
But everybody said like everyone says Chicago, Boston, New York. Like everyone says, it's kind of like a mecca for Paddy's Day. Everyone says you have to go once.
Yeah, it's just like, and the whole of like Long Island empties with everyone who's ever thought they might have a bit of Irish ancestry just comes into the city.
Which is everyone.
Yeah. If you live on the eastern seaboard of America, you've got like some link to an Irish family somewhere, and they just go wild. They just go absolutely wild.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, there's lots of these videos now going on TikTok because of Paddy's Day. I seen one the other day that said that Ireland has 6 million people, but there's 32 million Irish Americans.
Yeah.
So we're the minority of my own people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know 6 million of us on the island. That's pretty good going.
So 6 million.
On the island, I thought, with the immigration, there might be a lot less. It seems we've been breeding. Fair play.
Yeah, we're breeding it up. But I think it's because you've got people who come to Ireland as well too. So yeah, I think you still have net immigration.
Yeah,
even though
gross. What would it be? Gross Irish versus net Irish.
Oh, well then,
Gross Irish is definitely what I encountered in Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like you can't arrest him. He's got to deliver mass tomorrow. Like that sort of vibe. But madam, I'm sorry, you punched a horse. Give him the sacraments. You got to get him back to get him back to Levittown by 9 a.m. tomorrow.
It was an English horse. It's okay. It was an English horse.
Yeah, it's a thoroughbred. Getting whacked on the nose. Yeah. But my favorite ones is when you'd see like someone who had no connection to Irishness, like be somebody who, you know, they might be like an Italian person, or they might be like from Nicaragua, or like, and they would just be like, well, I feel kind of Irish today.
They get on it.
Yeah.
Put on all.
Yeah. And like just say you like drinking. Just say you want to drink. Like that's fine. That's acceptable.
Do you ever hear of the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean?
Montserrat.
Montserrat, yeah. I really want to get my ass to Montserrat next year, because like Belgium is just lame here, you know. But maybe like America's too intense. But in Montserrat they have like a week-long celebration for St. Patrick's Day, and because I guess when we were, I don't know the exact history of it, maybe Jack, you know, but when we were like basically shipped off to various, you know, places around the world, Australia was one and the Caribbean was another, and then there was a big Irish population on this one tiny island near Antigua.
Yeah, I think that's just it. And they St. Patrick's Day is a bank holiday. The shamrock is their national symbol, and they identify as their heritage as being Irish. And I don't know. Yeah, do people go there now? Do people from Ireland go there for Paddy's Week?
I don't know. I remember just growing up, there was always this one documentary on TG Carr.
Everyone knows the documentary.
And it was like this long-haired
propaganda.
Do you remember? Yeah, propaganda, and it worked because I want to go there. But like, yeah, this like hippie guy who went there in like late 90s or something, and like I think he even did he have like blonde dreadlocks or something? Am I mistaken that? And he spoke fluent Irish, and he did this documentary, and ever since then I was like, oh, I want to go.
Everyone wants to go. Yeah, there probably isn't even flights from Ireland.
No, there's barely flights to the island. Yeah.
You know, but I would like to go. I got a gig out of it once, because there's a comedian in London called Sheba Montserrat. That's the name she goes by, and she booked me for a gig because of, you know, she has the connection to Ireland, and she was telling me all about it one time. You know, yeah. But it does sound a little bit magical.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tiny volcano island. We should go and do gigs there next year.
There's a gap in the market.
Make a little documentary.
I wonder, is there any Montserrat comedians? We should look into that and see.
Well, there's Sheba in London. Now I died at the gig, so she probably won't book me again.
Oh no.
But I can put you in touch with her if you want to do it.
And then we can just sneak you onto the set list.
What happened? Why did you?
I wouldn't even return to that. Huh?
What happened? Why did you like?
I was just like, it was a long time ago. Like, I was out of my depth. I was booked to do 15 minutes. I had 7 minutes, and you know, it started well, and then it just went very badly, and then it was the first big death. Like, there was about 100 people as well. Like, it was a huge room as well, and I properly died.
Did you do all your best 7 first, and then just try and hang on?
No, do you know what it was? It was it was very. I could be wrong. I think they were quite Christian.
Okay.
It was mainly. First of all, but I don't think this was an issue. I was the only white person there. It was in a community centre in Tottenham,
right?
And it was a Black History Month special.
I mean,
but that actually worked in my favour, because I opened by saying that the council had sent me to teach you about Black history, right? And they loved that.
Yeah.
Because that was something, you know, that was a good gag. But I used to have a joke that was unnecessarily crude, and a few people had told me
What was
and
it? What was the joke?
I was just joke. Well, I did do the joke. Do you know, it was kind of fine. Like I did the joke about getting a prostate exam, and that was actually fine. They were fine with that. But then I used to have a topper to it where I used to say that my mother, you know, I was talking to my mother, and I asked her what did she think of my comedy, and she said she just loved the joke where I got fingered in the bum. Right, that was the line, and everyone just said it was an unnecessarily crude line, and I just said it, and it was like it was gone. Like they were just, that was it.
And the other guys on the lineup, were they clean?
Yeah, kind of pretty much, yeah. But no, like it was just standard comedians. It was like comedians you'd have in normally in other places too. I don't know. It just the tone, like I said, like the stuff I said before, it wasn't that different. But that line just seemed to just kill it, you know. And it was weird too because they had a guy on drums. And when you'd land a punchline and everyone was laughing, he played the drums. And I do remember thinking at one point, this is going far too well. Because I did go up thinking it wasn't going to go well. And it was, for the first 5 minutes or something, it was just, I was killing it. And then I just lost it, you know. But I also wasn't, I was probably less than a year doing comedy too. It was a big gig for me, 15 minutes, 100 people. I was out of my depth, like 100% out of my depth, you know. What do you guys think on things like that? Do you think you should, because I think you should probably take all those opportunities and you just do them and you learn from them. Yeah. That was my attitude at the time. Like my attitude at the time was, I wouldn't say no to anything. Like I'd always think that if I learned something from it, like, you know. But it was pretty humiliating. Like I remember no one could look at me when I came off.
That's the worst.
And I was meant to stay for a free meal after the gig, and I, in the middle, halfway through the next person's set, I just got up and left. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't say goodbye.
Yeah.
And like I was just like, fuck it, I better get out of here. But she, to be fair, was great about it. Like she was so nice about it, you know. And she went on and like she took the piss out of me for bombing when she went on MC, which actually made it less worse.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because it's like everyone acknowledges what just happened.
It made it an awful lot less worse, you know.
Because that's go on, go ahead. But
what was so funny, like there was because we were kind of sitting at the back of the room, so there was two guys who were talking to me before the gig, you know, and I was sort of even talking to them even just before I went on stage. And when I get back, like they wouldn't even look at me, like they were just, you could just tell they were like, oh, I don't have to talk to him. I don't have to talk to him.
And did you get paid for this?
Huh?
You got paid for this?
No, I don't think I got paid. It was like I was very new at the time. I had a video of it. I don't have the video anymore, and I shared the video on a friend's WhatsApp group, and I started getting individual private messages from them asking me, was I all right? That's how bad it looked.
I have to see this now because I feel like
I don't know. I don't think I have it. I don't think I have the video anymore.
Because I feel like with the audience as well, it's a nice middle-aged mum crowd, church going. You've disappointed them.
I've upset. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the equivalent of your mum and your aunties being like, I thought you were a nice boy, honestly.
Now the bit I always remember was so it was mainly like middle-aged women, but there was one or two daughters of middle-aged women who you could tell had been dragged out to it, who didn't want to be there, right? Maybe in their 20s, right? And even when I was going well, they weren't looking at me in a nice way, right? And when it started to go bad, oh my God, like I, you know, like when people like fold their arm and the head goes from one side to the other side. And I just thought, oh Jesus Christ, like it was horrific.
Niamh, have you got any horrendous bombing stories, either in Brussels or back in Ireland?
I bombed in Antwerp. Not recently. The guys are like, fuck.
Last week, not recent.
Yeah, yeah.
Thomas's face is like, shit, what have we done?
Oh, cool story.
Great. Yes, tell that one. Yeah, no, it was when I was only starting to actually get funny, you know, and like that, it was my first gig, I think, outside of Brussels. So when we went to Cafe Olé, and it's a popular open mic, and so trucked up with another person from Brussels, had this story about like a really awkward date, and it just, you know, there was no punchlines. Sure, like I had no punchlines. I thought, oh sure, it's a funny story. I really I wasn't funny at the time, you know. I thought I was starting to get funny, but I guess it had yet to come. And it was long as well. It was like 8 minutes, you know, of just dead silence and people like, what the fuck is she on about? And it was a story about like how I went on a date with this guy who was French speaking, not English speaking, and how the two of us like couldn't basically communicate. And they made us play this game in the party where you got tied to somebody, and I got tied to him for the night, and it was just the most awkward thing. Yeah, so it was absolutely horrible. And it was like my set was all about how like we basically went through like the intensities of a long-term relationship, like at this weird house party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. The concept is nice. It wasn't a good set, and everybody just sat there like this. And I was like, oh man. And I was so ashamed afterwards, you know, like, because this like Manu, the promoter, he had like invited me up. He was so excited to have me, and then I just killed his night. I was like, I'm so sorry. Oh.
But I think it's at least good. I think anyone who bombs, as long as you feel appropriate afterwards. Because the worst.
Oh yeah, you should take it in.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's definitely people we've probably all gigged with who that happens to them, and they're like, right, okay, guys, where are we gonna go for beers afterwards? Or like, you know, they're like, you're like, do you not want to curl up and die now?
Where they don't register it. Yeah,
they don't register it.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Do you tell a comic then? Like, what do you do? Do you say like,
oh no, Jesus.
No, but like, I mean,
They're gonna learn themselves.
What?
They're gonna learn it themselves. I think it's better for them to realize. I think.
Well, I think that's kind of self-obsessed narcissism, that they don't realize that the people haven't enjoyed it, because you know, you can, even when it's going bad like that, right? You can, there might be like an uncomfortable laugh. You know what I mean?
I think
there's some people who don't get that the energy has changed, that the warmth in the room has changed, all those kind of things. So I wouldn't criticize those people at all. I'd be afraid they'd murder me. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be on their enemy list.
Oh, I completely agree. If anyone's not registering that level of human interaction, 100%. Good job, and you are handsome. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Your shoes look great, not stupid. Great. 100%.
But I think some people just do it to overcompensate. They get that happen, and they just try to like play it so cool that everyone forgets about it.
Yeah. Because I mean, me and Jack have talked about this, Niamh. I don't know if you feel if you feel something similar. Does bombing, like where you've misjudged a joke, or you know it's a good concept but you haven't worked on it yet, like there's that kind of bomb, and then there's like these people do not like me. I've done something to make them stop liking me.
Yeah, I've upset them.
I'm upset them. Yeah.
The guy, when I had that bomb, the guy who went after me absolutely murdered as well. and he'd admit himself, like it wasn't like comedy gold. He told a story about dating and going to the cinema. It was fairly average material, but like they loved him. They absolutely loved him, right? And he was. I met him a couple of weeks later at a gig, and he was telling me he was new as well, and then he had seen me do so badly and him do so well that he got really confident, and he went back a month later to the same place and went in overconfident and absolutely died and couldn't understand what was happening. You know? So it's like, I think at the start, these things are always, you can't, unavoidable at the start.
Oh yeah,
You know.
yeah, and that's the funny thing as well, where you don't really know why you've done well, particularly.
You don't understand. You don't fully understand it.
Yeah. It's so Niamh, did you ever do stand up in Ireland, or did you only ever do stand up in Brussels?
I've done stand up in Ireland a couple of times, yeah, but not like consistently. Because I don't live there. So but yeah, this summer I'm actually going to get I've got a booking in my hometown. They've started a comedy show there, and so I'm going to play that. I'm excited about that, and then hopefully pad that out, like, you know. But no, I haven't done very much, but yeah, I would like to. Have you guys done stand up? I guess, Jack, you probably have.
Only recently for the first time in Dublin, but I'm booked for 2 more weekends in Dublin in the next few months. Did you grow up going to the Cat's Laugh and that?
Yeah, we used to volunteer for the Cat Laughs, and so we get into all the gigs for free.
Very brilliant.
Which was pretty nice, you know. Back then it was just like a carnival. These days it's less. It's kind of whittled down to.
Is it a lot smaller? Because I remember when I never went to it, but I remember in my mind thinking it's this huge festival.
It's still got like such the memory of the heyday, I think, is still there, but no, there's very few gigs now. It's not like it used to be at all. See, Smithwick's used to sponsor it, so they had loads and loads of that like lovely beer money, but
all right.
Yeah, now that stopped a good few years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, and then this theatre company took it over, and then that was a bit weird, and then the town didn't know how to deal with it because they were like, why are these lads from Dublin coming down running this thing that is kind of dead? And then so it's kind of hanging in for dear life. I hope they're not listening to this.
but I am available in case anyone's.
Yeah, I'm available, and I keep applying, and they keep ignoring me. So, hey.
Yeah, because it seems, I could be wrong now too. My perception now, and I don't really know, it seems to me now that Galway is the big one now.
Yeah, is it? Okay. There's one in Wicklow as well. Bray Comedy Festival is kind of taken over, and looks really nice. I think it's on even around now. Don't know if you've seen that. Check it out though, Bray.
I think it was on a month ago. Yeah, I did. I saw people posting about it.
That one looks cool. Yeah. So what about Ram or Thomas? Have you gigged in Ireland?
I've never been to Ireland. No.
I've never been. It's not on his hot list.
But I think you just destroyed my hopes now after the podcast.
Yeah. Ram's actually doing the Cat's Laugh festival.
Are you?
I'm the biggest Indian comedian coming there now.
No, I'm going at the end of I'm doing one of those same weekends as Jack at the end of March.
Savage. Nice.
Cool. Gonna be my first time. Yeah.
Were you
Sorry?
We're doing the Craic then in the
very nice. Yeah.
Fun gig.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. But I think because me and Ram have the same, I think Jack as well. I think all three of us have the same, actually all four of us have the same experience of starting doing comedy in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Because me and Ram started in New York, and Jackie started in England as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting. It's something about like being able to feel yourself more or something. Or like you're not as like bogged down by baggage or something. Or
yeah, it's hard to know. You're the outsider, yeah.
You're the outsider, yeah. It gives you a good.
You have more things to laugh at as well.
Yeah, and I think it gives you a good perspective on the culture you're in. That if you're an outsider from it,
and you've no family, so that had no family nearby. That
yeah. I mean, it helped me massively. Just like not like I don't know if you mean, but I had like no judgment, no like worry about what my friend group who've known me since I was 5 feel about this. You can just go at it pretty clean. So we just got a couple of minutes left. Niamh, I think you had like one thing you said was like annoying you at the minute, and a bit you were trying.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the thing that's annoying me at the moment is this morning I was at house viewings, and the landlord lived in every building.
Whoa.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
That never happens.
And I was just like, as soon as I got there, like, I just wanted to turn around and leave. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why is that not on the ad? You've wasted 2 hours of my day. So that really pissed me off. Also, like, rent prices are disgusting, and I have to live with my landlord. No. Yeah, so that's pissed me off. And then the bit, do you want me to talk about the bit?
Sure, yeah. We've got like 2 minutes.
Or like, I don't know if anybody else is moving house at the moment and has the same experience. Is anybody?
I don't know how. I mean, rent. I feel like an old guy. I mean, I'm an old guy, but like when I think about what rent costs, even like just 5-6 years ago, it's absolutely mental.
Mhm.
It's absolutely bananas. I don't know how people do it. It's
Yeah.
disgustings.
This
But
place said €700, and one of the walls was really moldy. It was so moldy I could smell and taste the mold. And I said to her, I can smell that mold. And she was like, "Oh, that'll be cleaned." I was like, "It's still alive, though."
yeah, it absolutely won't as well. You are lying massively.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's disgusting and a fairly good peeve to have, I would say. Niamh, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Big Tit Comedy. Yay!
Oh, you're the one who took it because I was going to take that, and you've already.
Yeah.
Jack and Ram, where can people find you guys?
You go ahead, Jack.
Comedian.jack.hester on Instagram.
Yeah, and you can find me at the Ram Arangi story. Yeah.
And I am Thomas Henry Comedy. This has been another episode of Tom and Jack having the crack. Niamh, Ram, thanks so much for joining us, and see you at the theatre tonight.
Have a great show, guys.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.